Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday. It is Start Monday Day here at Wildflower World, which means you guys were voting. And I'm going to find needles today and cast on after we have done chatting a little bit. We're going to chat for an hour here about what you were voting for, what the winner was, what last week's winning project was, and the progress on that. And I have a finish. I have a surprise little finish that I can show you a picture of because I don't have the finished project because I gave it away already. And I have some new yarn to show you. I didn't show you all of my yarn from our retreat weekend 2 weekends ago because you guys, I bought a lot. I had been so good not buying yarn, and then all of those other yarn shopping times where I was very good, only buying 1 or 2 skeins, well, I totally blew it this past weekend, when we were away, and and I, like, bought enough for all those extra times that I was so good. Anyways, I will show you some sock yarn in a little while. We can talk about the Fiber Friends because the March challenge is coming to an end and April is going to start. So many fun things. Hello, everybody who is in the comments. Liz and Alice, Cindy, Susanna, Haida, Karen, Nikki, Sally, Liz, Sam. I already said Liz. Liz, you get to say hi twice. Anyways, ladies, welcome. Grab some knitting and settle in. I hope everybody had a chance to vote today. Of course, there's all the places. Um, Here on YouTube, hi Susanna. Here on YouTube, you can vote. You can vote on Wildflower World's Facebook page. You can vote twice on Instagram in the stories and on the grid. And you can also go over to Patreon and you can vote there. For that is free for anybody to go vote. So if you want to like get your favorite project an extra vote, you can run over there and vote as well. Um, oh, it's one of your kids' birthdays, Nikki. Well, have fun. Oh, so you're watching a movie. Of course. We'll go and enjoy the birthday party time. I'm glad you popped in to say hi, and we will chat later. Hi, Jocelyn. Okay, so you were voting for a technique. Now, I did post pictures, and let me pull it up here. Oh, the weather just popped up. It's gonna snow. You can stop telling me that. I'm really ready for spring, even though it technically is still March. I know I may be maybe pushing it a smidgen. So I picked for projects today. I have been wanting to do some Intarsia and entrelac. I think last week I almost put this voting up last week, and then I ended up going for 2 different projects. So, what I wanted you to vote on was what technique for a scarf, Intarsia or entrelac. And then I went through Ravelry because I thought, okay, some people may not be familiar with those terms if you haven't done that type of knitting before. So, I kinda went scrolled through to see what I could find that was really cute, and there is this one, but I cut there is this one, but apparently I cut the name of it off. Well, that's not gonna help us, but look at that cute Intarsia project, and now, was anybody who voted Amber was one I saw, so I wonder if she saw I posted, um chat, hit the like button. Oh, thanks, Jocelyn. Um So when I posted this morning, so a little backstory. There seems to be a story to a lot of my knitting things. This morning was crazy, crazy, crazy morning, rushing, rushing, rushing. And I was trying to do the post as I was doing something else at the same time. And I quickly put in the pictures, I posted everything. Thank goodness I immediately went to Instagram to share my post to stories. And I was typing the poll sticker, and then I'm like, which one was left and which one was right, or A and B, or whatever, however you want to think about it. And I went and I looked and I'm like, "That doesn't match." I had put the picture of the Intarsia and put my little I put entrelac underneath it, and I'm like, "Oops, that's wrong." I'm like, "Delete, delete, delete." That would have totally messed everybody up if I had not I'm sure somebody would have messaged me at some point. Um But I'm like, "Well, that would have really messed people up if I'm trying to show them what the 2 different knitting techniques are if I labeled them wrong." Yikes. So good job I caught that immediately as soon as I did it. So I'm not sure if anybody saw it or not, but I deleted it as soon as I could. So, um, Intarsia. Now for some reason sometimes I'll yeah, anyways, Intarsia. Intarsia is like picture knitting or block knitting where you knit with one color for just your section, you don't carry it all the way around the project like you do Farrow. It's really fun. You put all your different colors, wind them into bobbins or, yarn butterflies, and it's really, really fun. It's I am loving doing this right now. So that was one to vote for. The other was entrelac. This is such a fun technique as well. It is like you're knitting basket weave kind of thing. You're knitting all of the little squares or rectangles that are leaning one way, and then you pick up stitches and you knit the whole block and the whole block that lean the other way. It is very, very fun. Now, I would say that probably both these techniques like some other techniques like brioche and double knitting, entrelac, intarsia, it's probably one of those ones where you kind of either like it or you don't. Some people I know don't care for the look of the entrelac. And I mean, it does, I would say it does look better in some projects than others. Intarsia is fun to do. I will not do entrelac, Samantha. Of course you will. You should always try it. They're both super, super fun. So, and I truly did not know which one I would like to do today, but I had thought I was sorting yarn on the weekend, which I think is where these 2 projects came from, because they're both really good for using up scrap, little bits of, odd. Do I have any like just kind of randomly sitting here, part balls that would be good just to work up because both projects are colorful. You can do small sections of color, so it's a perfect scrap project. So that's where my inspiration came from. And I really didn't know. And the voting was so, so close again this week. Last week, the project won with 51% of the votes. Today, it was 52. So even as I was adding up all the votes from all the different spots, I truly had no idea because it was like Entrelac had 3 and Tarja had 4, then this one had 13, and this one had 16, and then this one had, 20, and this one had 24, and it's like I did not know until I counted them all up. It was that close. And there was I think there was 2 or 3 people who said they had knit entrelac scarves, and I think maybe some people had said they had done this exact one. And why do I not have the name of that one either? Anyways, doesn't matter. That one looks kind of like your a basic entrelac pattern, which is perfect. That's all you need. You um just let the colors basically do all of the exciting stuff. Oh, Susanna, I did an entrelac hat, but I frogged it as it didn't work for you. Like, didn't work as in you had trouble with the knitting part of it, or it just, like, didn't work, like, style-wise, you weren't happy with it. Hi, Diane. Oh, Liz says, "I do not like entrelac, but different stitches for different folks." Exactly. And, yeah, I kinda get in moods where I just, like, wanna do something different. So okay, let's see what else. Oh, Suzanne, oh, the last round didn't work. Oh my gosh, you got all the way to the last round and it didn't work. Well, shoot. Hi, Jen. Oh, Sam says I will try. Oh, you'll try Intarsia. Perfect. Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm kind of teasing you, Sam. If you really don't want to do Entrelac, don't, but it's not that hard. Da, da, da. So anyways, oh, Bernadette's here. Hi, Bernadette. So anyways, yes, so there was lots. There was some people were saying they had done entrelac. Some people I think were doing entrelac. I don't know if anybody said they were doing Intarsia at the moment or not. Um, but there was, yeah, there, I mean, there was a lot of votes. We had 122 votes again today. 52% of the votes went to our winning project. Now, I think probably why I was a little, well, I'll show you these in a minute. I've got a few things to show you today. So I did teach an Intarsia class on the weekend. So that's kind of why I'm excited about that. And I did some entrelac knitting this weekend as well. So that's I think where both I just wanted to continue with both of them. I wasn't tired of doing either one of them and just wanted to do more. So, oh, Susanna said I did bind off, but it just sat around looking pretty. I think that I used the yarn for another hat. Okay, well, I mean, that's not a bad thing either. If you just have it, you know, sitting somewhere and you can look at it, makes you smile. But yes, it is nice to use the yarn that into something you're gonna actually wear. Hi, Bonnie. I've knit several cardigans using Intarsia. Oh, they were the old Mary Maxim patterns. I tried entrelac but didn't like the end result. And that's fair. I find entrelac and brioche are two that people sometimes don't look like the look of the texture, right? I mean, entrelac, you have that basket weave going, and maybe if it was, lighter yarns, heavier yarns give you more of a texture. Brioche is kind of the same, where you get that two color ribbing kind of look. Some people love it, some people don't. And that's okay. Like Liz said, right? Different stitches for different folks, because that's exactly it. You can try it or not, right? So, but that's, yeah, so Bonnie, the old Mary Maxim, and that's what I think of Intarsia, right? When I think of Intarsia, I think of a little kid's sweater that has a picture on the front of it. It has a snowman, it has a cat, it has a dog, it has whatever, a horse head. I'm thinking the Mary Maxim, there was, like, a bazillion of them. There was, like, different sports, like a hockey player. I know there was one that had curling on it. Yeah, so there's all kinds of things, right? Where you just have the picture on the front and then the back is plain. So I'll show you. I've got a few little examples of both entrelac and intarsia, but I will tell you the one that I am casting on. Sam, just type your question. I'll try to keep an eye out for it. Oh, Susie said entrelac looks like it would make a pretty pillow. It does. And I really, really like it for pillows and afghans if you're up for a really big project. And scarves. Those are probably my three favorite things that I think I would knit entrelac in. But okay, yes, the winning project. 122 votes. 52% of the votes went to our winning project this week. And it is, it is Intarsia. So I am excited. Now, I I may actually do this sweater or this scarf. A- And you know what? I think it might be in a book that I might just have to go buy. There is a new Intarsia book out that I did see at Chapters, and I did not buy it. But Anna Hussman is the designer, and I that's really odd. I don't know. Maybe I'll put the link in the on Instagram. Oh, wait. That was a two oh, wait. That was the second picture. That's not the one I ended up posting. There was that one was well, I might as well show you that one too. So there was this one. This was the first picture I saw, and I really liked it. And then I really liked this one with just the squares and the circles. So I'm not entirely sure. I guess this was the one you were voting for. So maybe this is the one I should recreate. And that was 31 scarf and mittens. Michelle Rose Orne is the designer of that one. And that one just looks I like it because of all the fun colors. So maybe we'll do this one. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl, you really need to stop copying me. So after 2 surgeries on my kneecap, I broke my ankle. That's exactly what I did. And then I broke my ankle and I was like this close to being healed and then I broke my knee. Um, or did I do it no, wait, no, I did it the other way around. Oh no. Well, I am so sorry to hear that. Okay, both of us need to stop breaking things. Well, I hope you're on the mend. I'll I don't know which one of us is gonna have more broken bones by the end of all of this, Cheryl. Well, that I am so sorry to hear that. Well, at least it's your ankle. Your hands are good. You can knit while you are non-weight bearing. Oh, Jocelyn said, "I voted the other way this week." Diane says yes. Oh, Liz says I know. So I know again, 50% of the people are going to be happy and 50 are going to be disappointed. But let me show you. So Intarsia is the winning project. So a couple little samples I was teaching Intarsia this past weekend, and some of the ladies had done flat Intarsia before, but had never done it in the round. And some had never done Intarsia at all. So they just started out with flat back and forth knitting. So this is just a little sample. Nothing fancy, 5 stitches of each color. And to make this easy, we just cast on with all one color. So not to fiddle casting on with individual colors. There's some butterflies. And the back side, you can just start to see where the colors are twisting, and that is the key. When you go from color to color, you twist old over new. The yarn you just finished knitting with is your old color. The one you're going to start to knit with is your new. You put the old one over your new, pick up the new, and you carry on. Hello, Daisy. So there we go. So it is fun. Now, the only thing is yarn management, keeping everything untangled is a big priority because it's better every time you do a yarn change just to untangle your yarns. You cross them and then you untangle things. And you will thank yourself. Your future self, about 3 or 4 rows later, will thank you to keep everything untangled. And I there's a kitty. Um, either find you want to keep these as short as you can or keep them nice and long so that they can lay on the table in front of you. And then you can just untangle them and let the ball sit on the table. So, Daisy, you're going to get poked here, sweetie. Feed me. I know I already fed her, so I don't know. I think that was a pet me. I'm I don't know what that was. I'm lonely. So Intarsia typically is done back and forth. Let me give you my other little spiel here. And probably a lot have is there anybody here who has not knit Intarsia before? Oh, I think there was somebody. A couple people I think somebody said that. Um, so when you're working across here, so it doesn't matter if you're knitting or purling. So I've got this set up here. I've just finished the green. My green is at the end. So I'm going to turn this around. I can purl. Here I was just doing garter stitch. So my yarn is here. I can knit my green across. My blue is sitting here right at the beginning. My orange is here ready to go across to my orange. So I will just pick up with my green. I'm going to knit over 5 stitches. Old over new. Green is my old over my new, which is my blue. I'm going to pick it up, and now I'm going to purl across. So the green just gets tacked there. So as I'm coming to every color block, my working yarn is sitting here. If I wanted to knit this in the round, I would be out of luck because if I carried on going around here, I would come back to my color blocks and my working yarn is at the wrong end. Instead of being attached here so I could pick it up and knit across, it's over here. But some super smart knitter figured out a way so that you can have your knitting joined in the round. You are technically not knitting round and round and round. You are knitting around to the last stitch, stopping, turning it around, and then you're purling all the way around to the last stitch, stopping, turning your work around and knitting. So you're working first stitch all the way to the last stitch, but you never go last stitch to the first stitch. So you're not going in the round as you normally would to do a hat or socks. It is a really cool little technique. And so you're knitting, basically you are knitting flat, even though you have your work is all in the round. So it is joined in the round, but you don't knit round and round. And let me see. Oops. Okay. Let me see. I don't know where this one got left off on. But what you do is when you start the beginning of your row, because you're not technically knitting in rounds, you're knitting in rows, you lock the your end color to your first color. Do you do wraps and turns? No, you don't. So I'm looking here to see. Okay. Give me one sec to undo this. And I will show you. So the beginning of the round was between the orange and the beige. And I would have, this project was worked knit around, knit around, started with the beige, knit the green, knit the orange. Then it was turned around, ready to purl. Ended with the orange, you turn it around and you start with that same color again. But you have to link your other color. So see how that is the beige yarn is at the end, and it just literally gets pulled around. Think about I-cord. How if you knit an I-cord, you just pull the yarn around and just start knitting with it. Here, we're just pulling it around and still doing our old over new, so our yarns are crossing and it catches it. So now this one can pull out as far as you want it, and then you can also pull it back in. So what we're doing here now is we're purling. So purling around with the orange, we're going to purl around with the green, and then we're going to keep purling with our loop here. It sounds more complicated than it is because you're probably thinking that sounds so confusing. But it actually is not hard. Once you've done a couple of rounds and you just know the color you just ended with, that's the color block you start with. You do your old over new. Every time you start a new row, you always you lock in a color. You always have to do old over new. When you're working around, this only had 3 colors on it. But if you were doing a much larger project and you had maybe 20 bobbins on there, as you were going around, you could put a stitch marker on there to know where your end of the row was, but you'll also know because every time you come to a color change, you'll have your old yarn, your new yarn, old over new, pick up your new, work your stitches, old over new at the next color change, work those stitches, and when you get to the end of your row, you go to do old over new, and there is not a tail of yarn there because it's at the other end, and then you gotta carry it around. So, it is actually pretty easy to do. It is a really cool little technique, and this way you can do hats and not have to do them flat and seam them up. So, anyway, it is fun if you want something a little bit different. The balloon socks. I know. Anybody who did Sock Madness, was that 3 years ago now? Everybody's gonna remember those balloon socks. So you were doing it in a little circumference of a sock, and oh my gosh, I don't know how many color was there, like 12 butterflies? There was a lot of yarn attached there. That was interesting. It was fun. I got the hard part done. I got the Intarsia and the balloons all knit, but then I didn't get the foot finished, so I didn't qualify. Trauma bonding. Oh my god. I know. I know. There was a little you mentioned balloon socks and everybody's like, "Oh, balloon socks." Yeah. But see, that's why you start with something a little easier, maybe a little bigger like a hat, not quite so many bobbins, and then it might be a little easier, a little more manageable. Oh, Liz, you saw the balloon socks when you were looking for a sock pattern? You did not download it. Balloons. I know. Anyways, so nope, Louise, nope, no wraps and turns. It's even easier than that. And yeah, it's fun. Hi, Mary. Trauma bonding. I know. Yeah, sock knitting is not supposed to cause any kind of trauma. It's supposed to be fun, fun memory. So, anyways, that is a little Intarsia. So I'm excited to do some more. So this was just a couple of little projects, little samples that I had started, and it was fun seeing everybody get the hang of doing it in the round because it's always when you're teaching a group of people how to do it, everybody is like, yeah, I don't really get that, but I'm going to try it. And then, you have to go around. But once you get around to everybody and help them and show them one-on-one or with 2 people on either side and explain it again, people start to get it, and by the end of the afternoon, everybody had it, so that was fun to see. Okay, what else? So Intarsia. I don't know if it'll be Intarsia flat or in the I may do it in the round just for fun. I don't know, but I could do that one pattern. The pattern you guys voted for, I think I will do that and do the squares and put the circles in because that just looks fun. Find a few colors. I don't even know if the pattern was free or paid for. I know, I'll grab that pattern anyways, and I will knit from it. And oh, Sam, you wrote your question. Why do I always miss your questions, Sam? Let me look. Oh, oh, Sam. Oh, are you asking me, have you knit intarsia before? I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, what projects do I have to show you? Okay, might as well talk about this one since we're right kind of in this. Since we're talking about entrelac. Some of you may have remembered that I have had an entrelac dishcloth on the needles for a little bit. I did do another, what did I do? I did these blue rectangles and then did the little blue triangle, and now I've started to come back with the green. So, entrelac, another really fun technique. So I am all set. So you knit the little rectangles all in one shot. That wasn't your question, Sam? Okay, then hold on. So what I did was I picked up each one of these rectangles is 6 stitches wide. So across here on the top of this blue triangle, I picked up 6 stitches. And then I knit and purled across, and then ooh, as I got over to here, you do a decrease, a green and a blue, and you work those together. Then you just keep going until the blue stitches are used up and you have your green rectangle finished. So now I am ready, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up 6 stitches along the side of my blue triangle and with the green, and then I'm going to knit another green rectangle in this space, decreasing away these stitches as I go. So this rectangle will be knit, all of these will be decreased into the side of the new green, and then I'll come over here and pick up stitches, oh, pick up stitches, and then carry on, and then do it over here. And then I'm going to do another top row. I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to put in the little triangles to finish across the top. And then it'll be done. So there should be a finish for next week. I seem to only be able to get 1 row done on here a week, but this one's almost done. Lots and lots of fun. Again, if you like the look of it. So so since the Intarsia project one, I will still have a little bit of entrelac to do. We were at our guild meeting on the weekend, and so people were showing some of their finishes. Last month, we had entrelac was our project, our theme, our technique for the month. So people were showing some of the entrelac projects that they had done. One of the ladies did a really big pillow, all in one color. She did entrelac on one side and then another like slip stitch pattern on the back. It was gorgeous. Both sides were gorgeous. There was what else? There was the dishcloths. There was a headband. Yeah, there was lots of cute. And there were balls like like a toy ball. And so I was so inspired by those that I ended up knitting one Sunday morning because it was Scarlett's birthday party. And I did not get a finished one after I sewed it together, but it was a lot of fun. So this is it started. You used all these double pointed needles and you had stitches on all the double points. So the orange was the triangle that you started with. And then I picked up stitches along the side of the orange, and then I was knitting the green. And then I did a pink. So this was a lot of fun. And there it is again with another rectangle attached. And there it did I don't think that's stuffed. I think that is it finished knitting, and then I was coming upstairs here to stuff it, which I still have stuffing sitting here left over, but that is it knit. It was so fun. It took about 3 hours, maybe a little less than 3 hours to do it and stuff it. And then it talked about, um, grafting it together, so I don't know, I guess you could have picked up live stitches along the green. I ended up just casting off the pink and just whip stitching it closed. But it was a lot of fun, and I don't think I there's birthday girl. I'm 2 years old now. So, anyway, she liked the ball, it was cute, so I think it'll get lots of use in the house just playing around with it, and it was a really fun project. Now, it doesn't really go like, it was a fun entrelac, like, picking up it was a really cool, construction. So, I think after you have learned how to do the entrelac, like a straight piece, um, the ball would be a really fun little project to do for people. But yeah, I didn't actually get a finished picture of it stuffed, so I'll have to do that and put it on my Ravelry page. And, oh, I was gonna look and tell you what the pattern was or not. No, I can't. I thought I no, I don't. So and I can't remember it. So I'll post a picture of it and I'll put the pattern link in Facebook and Instagram if anybody wants to just put it into their favorites. It was a free pattern, so it was easy. Okay, Sam, I'm gonna look for your message. Oh, is reading double knitting patterns hard to do? No, it's not. You've read lots of patterns for your illusion knitting, so it's the same kind of thing. It won't be hard once you do it. Okay, what else? The ball, the entrelac dishcloth, last week's project. Let's talk about that. So that was the one you had voted between the snow blossom mittens, the stranded Fair Isle mittens, and the garter stitch shawl, the Murphy shawl. The Murphy shawl won by like 2 votes, and so I started it. I'm really well, no. Anyways, I decided to go with stash yarn. And this is from the shelves behind me here. So it's an acrylic yarn. It's impeccable. I have got 1 ball there, 1 ball, another ball. I've got 3 balls of it, but I am gonna color block it. So remember how we were talking last week, the Murphy shawl? Let me see if I've got a picture of it here. And about it said you had to graft it together, and we were trying to figure out how you do a triangle shawl and graft it. Well, we were right. It is you knit one triangle, you knit the other triangle, and you graft them together. You cast off some stitches and you graft the other half together. So, it's actually looks like a really, really easy knit. It's all garter stitch. And I've got a good little start on it. So this color is, I think, truly gray. True gray. True gray. So it's just kind of a medium shade of gray. It looks, I think that's pretty close to what the color looks like on the screen. And it said to use a worsted weight with a 5 mm needle. I find impeccable to be like a heavier worsted. Definitely, it's not a light worsted. So I went to with a 5.5 mm needle, and there it is. This is a nice start. It is a paid for pattern, so I guess I can't tell you exactly all the ins and outs of it, but it is a very easy knit, increasing on both sides. I've got a little owl stitch marker. Oh, can you see it's an owl? These were a gift from one of my students. Those little cute little owl stitch markers. So it is more like a progress keeper, I guess I should say. I've got a locking marker on there. So I'm just using this to know what side I'm increasing on. So this is a perfect binge watching pattern. You just need to know what side. Where is this? Here it is. Just need to know where you're increasing, and that's all. And um, you can customize the size of it. Basically, you can make that just keep going, make this as big as you want. So I think this is going to be a great wrap. I'm really, really looking forward to wearing this on like some cool Cool summer mornings, cool summer nights, sitting around the campfire. Um, oh, Louise, okay, you emailed the designer about the Kitchener stitch, but she wouldn't say why it was being done. Glad you explained it. Yep, that's it. So it was the mystery is solved. I know. It's like Kitchener stitch on a triangle shawl. So it is kind of an interesting thing. Um, and it is Kitchener or garter stitch, Kitchener stitch. That's like a tongue twister. Garter stitch, Kitchener stitch, garter stitch grafting, which is even easier than stockinette stitch. So that will be a fun thing to put this together. So I am going to color block it. I just don't know. I don't know. I was thinking like gray and even a darker shade of gray or gray and black, something kind of neutral. And when I was looking at my colors here, I was like, oh, these would make a nice color block shawl too, wouldn't it? And this is, it's impeccable again. And it is, oh, deep forest. Like, tell you, I can look at these ball bands and I always have to look like twice for the color name. Can never find what I'm looking for. Fern. Fern and deep forest. I think those two would look really, really fun together. This project would be great, just it could do so many colors with it. Oh, what does color block mean, Sam? That's a great question. So it just literally means a chunk of color. So color blocking. Okay, I don't know where my picture went. So literally one half is done one color, the other half is done the other color. If it was just a regular scarf, you would color block and you could do so many rows one color, so many another, like 10 rows red, 10 rows blue, 10 rows pink, and just do that all the way around. Oh, yes, deep forest and gray would be nice too. It would, wouldn't it? It would. You're right. That would be really nice. I know. And that could be. I may just do that. Let's see what else. So it started and it's just an easy, easy, easy knit. And I think it's going to be super, super wearable. The other thing I've worked on a couple of other little projects here. My son of a nutcracker. Did I show you this to you? I think I did not show this last week. So I've done a little bit on it. This is just my garter stitch, asymmetrical, one skein shawl on the needles all the time kind of thing. You can see where it's increasing. This is, that would be Eric calling. Sorry about that, guys. I will call him back. This is how much I've got done this week. The yarn, Son of a Nutcracker, from Leo and Roxy. It was a Christmas colorway from a number of years ago. And it is knitting up really fun. Sometimes you just never know, right? When you start doing asymmetrical, as you're getting wider and wider and wider every other row, you just never know how the color is going to knit up. But for the most part, I find all the hand-dyed sock yarns knit up really quite nicely. They are, more striped on the bottom, and then the stripes spread out as you get wider. But really nothing that ever looks, I think, like glaringly horrible. I think it all just kind of blends together. And then when you wrap it around and you wear it, then you definitely can't tell that the striping changes. So I really am liking this. Very Christmassy, pooling. Yes, Susanna, pooling. Yes, because see, like here you can see like there's a bit of a chunk of white, but then there's up here. So for the most part, I find it does just kind of all flow together nicely. I know, right? The name always makes me smile. I know, Son of a Nutcracker. I know. Very fun name. It's probably what convinced me to buy it because usually I do not buy a yarn that is mostly white, like a white base with a bit of color. I usually that's not my thing that I always gravitate to, but the name probably convinced me because it is fun. There's my other color for my entrelac dishcloth that I'm hoping is going to be finished when we chat again next Monday. This cut, somehow the ball band has got removed. I have not lost it. It's a Regia sock yarn, 75/25 wool and nylon, and it is just such fun spring colors. I'm loving this, the purple, the blue, and the orange. I am just finishing up the orange right now. I think I just have a little bit left on it, and I'm like, oh, I am loving how this is knitting up. It is just so, so fun. I was really like, I was just knitting this orange and I'm like, oh my goodness, I am loving this. So I can't wait to keep going on this and see what. No, do I have? Well, the blue. I'll come back to the blue. This I think is probably it. I don't think there's any other colors in here. So I'm guessing after the orange, look at the yarn, Louise. After the after the orange is the blue. So there we go. So we're going to be right back to the blue. And that blue was just a little tiny stripe because as you can see, I cast on with this kind of peachy color and then the blue. So a little skinny stripe of blue, more peach, another skinny stripe of purple, and the orange. I think it's a lot of fun. So this is a sock that's going to have a strong heel on it someday, hopefully soon. In the very near future is the plan. And that I did not crochet anything this week, you guys. I think I crocheted myself out doing the lovely chicken back here. Susanna, again, thank you for the pattern. I absolutely love it. I almost stuffed it and gave it to Scarlett, but I just couldn't bring myself to give her away. So Scarlett may end up with one of her own, or she may end up with this one. We'll wait and see. But I'm definitely going to make more of those. They're it's on my list for Christmas gifts. Either the chicken or just using that pattern and turning it into a pot holder or a hot mat is what I'm thinking. Hi, Pravina. So anyway, yeah, so no crocheting. So I've got to do that this week. And we did decide on Friday night when Jocelyn and I were chatting that our crochet Zoom call is Sunday, April the 6th, I do believe, at 3:00 Eastern time. Am I right, Jocelyn? I've got it wrote down. But anyway, it is that Sunday. So you can tentatively pencil that in your calendar if you're doing crocheting along with us. And then we will. Oh, Diane says yes. Okay, 3:00 Eastern time. I always have to think about the time change for Jocelyn and I. Okay, you guys want to see a little bit of sock yarn? Okay. So this is from. Okay, let me start this by saying yesterday I could have went to a yarn show. I might the Hamilton Fiber Forge. I don't know if I mentioned on Saturday with Cheryl that I was going to do it because at one point over the weekend I was not, then I was, then I thought maybe I would. And in the end, I did not. I stayed home. Yes, I mentioned it because I was really sure I was going to do it. And then in the end, I didn't. And now I'm kind of like, maybe I should have. But when you see how much yarn I bought the last weekend, you'll be like, good choice, Louise. Just I needed to stay home. But I really wasn't going to buy yarn. But of course, who am I kidding? I would have bought yarn because how can you not when there's so much pretty stuff? But I really wanted to go see the lady that had the spindle, the big supported spindles, and then in the end, I thought, "No, not right now." So, I didn't. Oh, saying 7 o'clock PS is late for oh, that's right. I know all this time change business, and typically, I'm not the one that has to worry about it, it's all you guys that have to keep it straight, so I, I thought it was 10 o'clock Eastern. Oh, crap. Hold on. Let me look at my calendar for 1 second, and then we will know for sure. Sunday, April 6th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Where did I get 3 o'clock? We were throwing around some dates because we were trying to figure out how we were gonna do this. Yay, AM. Yes, Diane. I must have been, yes, because April is really, really busy for me. I'm teach every Saturday, I'm booked, and Jocelyn's busy, so anyways, we found a time, and I think Jocelyn, is kinda doing double duty that day. I think she's podcasting with Diana, and then she's gonna do the crochet calls, so she's gonna have a busy day, but she squeezed it into her schedule for us. So, yes, 10 AM on Sunday. That's right. So, yes, 7 o'clock, Diane. I know, and that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say it again. I'm like, "Well, you guys can just be in bed," and then it's like, "Oh, no, it's a Zoom call. You will be on camera." But you can certainly do it from bed in your PJs, like, as long as you got your crocheting, nobody's gonna care what you're wearing, Diane. So, it'll be fine. Um, what else? Sock yarn. Okay. So, our craft retreat weekend, we we talked about and I showed you yarn from the Quagu open house, which was amazing. They have such beautiful yarn. She says you might, you should. Totally. Show up in your PJs. It'd be great. Oh, Diane, have a great class. Happy teaching new knitters. It's the best thing in the world. Um, so yes, Koigu open house was fantastic. So then the Saturday, Cheryl and I podcast for the Fiber Friends at the retreat house, which is always fun. We get to do it once a year and it's fun and our friends are there sitting knitting as we're chatting away. And then we go yarn shopping and out for lunch. We went to a new little spot for lunch, which was quite good. So I don't know what we're gonna do next year, if we'll go back to the original spot, go back to this spot, or try somewhere different. Maybe try somewhere different. Anyways, there's 2 yarn shops within, like, a 15-minute drive. There's the Knitting Basket and Linda's Craftique. The Knitting Basket is run by such a lovely lady who the yarn shop is in the basement of her house, and she has a beautiful yard. Mind you, this year we were there, and it was still winter, so there was no flowers or anything, but we've been there later in the spring, and it's a gorgeous spot. I often wonder if she does knit nights outside when the weather's nice, because it would be a really nice spot. And she, of course, is lovely. She has got some good selection of yarns. We always seem to buy some yarn there. Cheryl got her sweater quantity. I think she got Cascade 220 there. Um, And yeah, I think everybody came away with a ball or two. I bought 2 balls of sock yarn there because I was kind of deciding what I would get. And where is it? Uh-oh. Maybe I don't have it here. I might have shown that to you already anyways. Anyways, I don't think I have it here. So anyways, I got 2 balls. They were both kind of orangey, like they were variegated. One was kind of like an orange and yellow and maybe green, and the other one was orange and yellow, but had some bright pink in it. They were both they were both very similar. I remember I was showing it somewhere because I remember saying that I looked at them and thought, "Oh, are they too close? You know, do I need something that's a little different?" And then in the end, I got them both because I was like, "I like them. I'm not gonna debate this too much." So I got them both. So then we went to Linda's Craftique on the Saturday, which is what our we have always done since we realized that we were so close to her, and she has a gorgeous. Oh, Pravina, yes, that's okay, yes. Intarsia. Intarsia won by just, like, 52%. So, okay, Sherry says she remembers seeing them. Okay, so I did show you those ones. And then I think I said I was gonna save Linda's Crafty because there was a lot. Um, anyways, I need some new sock yarn, right? I bought all sock yarn. I was just yes, it was all sock yarn. So Saturday when we were in our little shopping, we went out and did knitting basket, went to Linda's Craftique, and it's always lovely there. Linda is the owner of Linda's Craftique. She was down in the Toronto area and she moved a number of years ago just up north of Orangeville. She has a beautiful shop. There was 3 dogs there this year, which is always nice. If you are a dog lover, it's always fun. They come and they greet everybody, then they go lay down, and she has a really, really, really big selection of yarn. And so we ended up going Saturday. We bought yarn. We had a nice little visit with Linda. We pet the dogs. We went back. We got in. Well, some people just like got comfy in their comfy clothes. I guess we all did. And then we just sat and we knit and ate for the rest of the afternoon, the evening. Great. Then Sunday, when we were packing up to head home, we everybody that was in my car, we went back to Linda's Craftique. And we have done this once or twice before on the Sunday on the way home because when you are at a yarn shop and you are looking for yarn, and like Alyssa was looking for, she had like 2 or 3 sweaters that she was looking to get yarn for. Well, it's hard when you're just there and you're focusing on one and da 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 da. And then you get back to the retreat house and you're all comfy and you're like, then you start thinking, it's like, maybe I should have looked for this. Or it's like, oh, I saw this. Darn, maybe I should have picked it up, right? Right? That is a real thing, right? Please say yes. So, anyway, so we went back Sunday. So I bought yarn twice there and mostly I went back for this because I bought this. I bought this once and I was like, oh, this is so pretty. I bought it once. Saturday, I bought 1 ball of it and I'm like, this is so pretty. And there was one other ball of it in the basket. And I was like, darn, I should have got 2 because I thought it would look really pretty on my shelf if I had 2 balls of it. So I went back and grabbed a second ball. So this is Twin Socks Superwash. So this is DK. So I got a few balls of DK and a few balls of just regular sock yarn. So I think this is gorgeous. I don't know if these actually have names on them. I don't think they do. Oh, maybe they do. Sandvika? Is that the name? Norwegian cities. Oh, where's Asa when I need her? Um, okay, that's really interesting. But look at the stripes. Really fun, eh? So there's the 2 we're not gonna count. I will show you. We'll be here for like ever and ever if I go through all the details on all of them. But there was this one. This was a Sunday purchase as well because I did not pick this colorway up the first day, and it looks really pretty, doesn't it? So these are, does that show there? These are a 75-25. This is a DK as well. Yes. This is yeah, it does say superwash on here. So there's another DK. So this is really fun. Okay, I don't know, but the purple and the orange, I almost think it looks Halloweenish, but then when you see the whole thing knit up, it doesn't look Halloweeny, does it? Anyway, it just looks pretty. So we've got that one. We have a Christmas one. This is regular sock yarn, Cascade Heritage Prints. I think I already have this ball, but that's okay. It's Christmas. It's pretty. Oh, Susanna says Sandvika. I think so. Something like that. icy blue peeking through. Oh, in this one? Actually, I think you might be right on that. There is, right there. Yeah, that is pretty. I didn't even realize that. This is so, so nice. I actually think this would make a nice shawl. So 75.25 again. There is that one. This one is a sock weight, floaty sock. It is that a papaya? I don't know. But I just think the colors are nice and bright and summery. I am in a very bright color mode. So remember I said at the knitting basket, I bought the 2 that were both basically the same color. At one point, I had put the one back and I had picked up one that was very much kind of like this, kind of blues, greens, yellows. And then I was like, no, it's like I was picking this up because I felt I should get something that was a little bit different. And then in the end, I put it back and I went with my 2 shades of orange. And then when I saw this at Linda's Craftique, I'm like, oh, I will just get a shade of blue here. And what is this? Floaty sock again. Perfect tropical. So shades of blue. Is this a 75? Yep. 75.25. Yep. So blues and yellows, and there's a little bit of orange in it, a little bit of brown. Just thought it looked really fun too. So it came home with me as well. And then some green. So this is regular sock. And it's just, they have like shades of green with that kind of teal color in there. Thought that looked really fun as well. So there, which way do I go? There it is, striped up. Cute. And what else? There is this one because I don't know. I like that. The blues, the greens, the yellows. So what is this? Sock Indulgence Organic KFL Collection Organic Merino Wool Blend. It's a 70/25 number 1 sock yarn. I know, that's pretty too, isn't it? Obviously, they're gonna all be pretty. What is this? This is regular sock yarn again. The Lang Super Socks. I don't know. It's just pretty. I think I bought this because I was actually thinking about knitting up some of these for Christmas presents, not just to sit on my shelf and look pretty, and I thought this might be a good color for my brother or for Eric. And there is this one because it was pretty, the bright blue, the shades of pink and the brown. It looks fun. So again, it's the twin socks. Oh, and this it is. This is a DK weight one as well. We're getting close to the end. This is another DK weight. Isn't that color fun? Like, see, like really, how could I decide? So my new, well, it's not new. I've had this theory before of why use all this energy trying to decide? I knew I wanted a bunch of new sock yarns, so this was kind of a purchase that I wanted to make. And so that, okay, so that is all the sock yarn that could potentially be for socks. And then I bought on the Saturday, I bought the newest copy of the Lane magazine, and there's an Intarsia shawl in there, you guys. And I needed some colors for the shawl. So these were ones, I think I only need 3 colors, but I grabbed all of these because I don't know, I just really like them. So I'm not sure which ones. This could be a new start Monday in a week or 2. I don't well, maybe next week. We'll see. And we may try to come up with some color options, maybe. See what 3 colors might be good in here. Or maybe this will just be a chat, another chat. I'm not sure. We'll see. I will let you know. But these ones are all sock yarn as well. They're a Cascade Heritage, 75/25 superwash. And I don't know if these, yeah, this is color 3, but it's a really light peachy color and a gold and like a dark green, so it's like a forest green, and then a dark gray, kind of charcoal. And then this is that color looks pretty true. It's kind of well, it might be a smidge darker. I don't know, like a melon kind of color. So these are set for a shawl, at least 3 colors, and then whatever's left over will be used for some color work socks. Anyways, I really like this. Thinking I need a bunch more colors of this. So that was my shopping trip. And let me tell you, it was so fun to be able to just kind of go on a bit of a spending spree. I won't be able to do that all the time. So the next time or two that I go shopping, I will be back to buying a ball or two. But but this I this was sitting right at the counter when I was checking out, and I just happened to open it to this shawl, and I'm like, "Oh, I need this." So that is something that I am going to make in the coming weeks as well. So the magazine came home with me, and then I needed to go buy more yarn. But I'm super excited and it makes me happy. So I'm going to do that. So, anyway, my socks, I am thinking that I am going to put all the sock yarn on the shelf behind me so that we can, oh, yes, Susanna, so that we can all admire it over the next few weeks. But I am also thinking that I will actually try to knit a good chunk of this sock yarn into Christmas socks for everybody because I have always thought that I would love to knit socks for everybody in my family. And I know, don't laugh, but it has been a goal. And I'm thinking maybe this is the year. And now I have all this wonderful brand new sock yarn. It is spring 2025, Susanna. So, yeah, so I'm thinking that I could have just done all of my Christmas shopping last weekend and everybody could get a pair of socks. So that is kind of my plan. And writing is too tiny. It just says spring 2025. Brush strokes is what it says. Oh my gosh. Brush strokes, spring 2025. Um, there was, well, the cover sweater, the lace cardigan. It's really, really cute. And there was an orange. I just remember being orange. Um, yeah, there I can show you. That's a lace, just a more close up. Kind of I don't know, it's a nice lace pattern there. Of course, the Intarsia shawl. There, what is this? I think okay. There's just a nice pullover. Yeah, there is some nice patterns in here. Their socks. Easy to memorize lace pattern is mirrored on the socks. So there you go. It's kind of hard to see in the dark blue, but I'm sure they are lovely. They look cute from what I can see. Oh, there's an article about alpacas. Um, so anyways, I just found something that I stuck in the book, which is a good surprise. There's a little short sleeved, where is it? Cardigan sweater. That's cute. V-neck shaping. Another sweater. Where's the one that I was? This one. This one. I thought this one looked cute. Oop, which way? So really like that lacy pattern on the sleeves. So yeah, that might be something you might want to check out, see if you can find it. That's what I wondered if it was crocheted. I can't tell from the pattern, but it does look crocheted, doesn't it? I haven't actually read it. What does it say? A shadow pattern on the arms. How do you image? Oh, Anyways, oh no, it doesn't. Anyways, that does not intimidate me now because I am a crocheter, and if it is crocheted, which you're probably right, it probably is. Um, I think I can do that. That's right, Susie. The fact that some of my sock yarn is DK will really, really help me because it does not take me long to do DK socks. So yes, some people will get some DK. There'll be some regular sock knitting weight yarn in there, and so I'm thinking that this could be the year that I get a lot of socks done. So we'll see. I don't think. No, I haven't finished any socks yet because Sock Madness socks were my first socks, and they're not they're not quite done yet. Um, Anyways, that's okay. It's still only March. The year is young. I've got lots of time for socks. Okay, crochet in the sleeves. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, is I'm just kind of scanning back through. Oh my goodness, we're quarter after 9. Okay. My all of my sock purchases took a little bit longer. Yeah, Sam, I'm looking for your comment. Read your oh, you said you sent a picture. Hold on, you guys. We'll look at Sam's picture before we wrap up. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for voting. Thank you for voting for Intarsia. I am like really excited about doing this. And I'm hoping for next week that I'm going to have a finished dishcloth. I think I may have said that last week, but I'm even closer this week. So I'm pretty sure that there'll be a finish. And I'm gonna have some crochet. Okay, we'll finish off with one of Sam's amazing dishcloths. Looking good, Sam. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, everybody, this has been a great start to a Monday. I've had a little bit of a hectic Monday, so this is a great way. Just taking a little breather in my workday and checking all the places to see kind of what you guys are voting for is always fun. And then ending up my day chatting with all of you is a great way to start the week. So happy knitting, everybody. And we will be back here again Monday night. If anybody, there is a Patreon Zoom call Sunday for anybody who is interested in doing the workshop tier for April for socks. It is basically a online sock course. We're going to do two Zoom calls in April. So, yeah, I've got a bunch of fun things lined up for all of us. Some in-person knitting in the summer is going to happen, some online classes. So stay tuned for some updates. I'm just starting to get everything kind of lined up and dates set for everything. So there's going to be lots of fun stuff happening, everybody. Cannot wait to share more with you about all of that. Okay, guys, thank you for voting. I'm gonna go sit and do some knitting and update my whiteboard and Ravelry. That's the first thing I'm gonna do before I start knitting. And then I'm gonna start looking for some yarn for that Intarsia scarf pattern. So stay tuned for some updates on that, and we will see you all next Monday night. Have a great week. Happy knitting, everybody. Good night.